Question 1345. In your humble opinion, what is the worst job in the world? You know, the one you would never debase yourself by doing.
Hosting an internet panel question show.
You so would. Next
Can I
time
just
can't
talk
do it.
about the worst job that I ever had? Can I just talk about that? The worst job that I ever had? It was 2
Sure.
weeks.
Briefly.
Okay, briefly, and then I'll shut up, and then I'll go run away. I'm sorry. I've railroaded this. I'll just play with my molecules after this, so it's fine. Okay. I got on a soapbox, guys. I had been like streaming for 2 weeks in a Hijack Dave show. He's never going to ask me again. I'm sorry. Okay.
No wonder
so
it says telemarketing. I've done that.
It was telemarketing, but it was for cemetery plots.
Oh,
While I was at a funeral home and at the cemetery.
oh my
Love
God.
that. This is the problem. I think I would love that job.
Oh my God. We had to take a break every hour to get in a good mood. Because we had a 10-minute break every hour after we were calling through like the blue book, trying to set up an appointment for somebody to go to somebody's house. One of our salespeople to go to somebody's house and sell them a cemetery plot package.
Did you have like a list? Do you have a list of people by age as well, or not?
No, it was just it. And we weren't allowed to make appointments with anybody who had apartments. It had to be like homeowners. So there was even classism there, man. So it was just like, man. And then you have to go outside. And so we would leave our telemarketer room and go outside, which was the cemetery. And then you're sitting out there and there's all the plots and stuff. And then, of course, there are people coming in crying because there was dead folks because the place was there where they could have the service. So it was like counterproductive to even have the break.
Yeah.
Worst job I ever had, for real.
Jen says retail. I think she means anything in retail. And Brainbug's shouting at me. Apparently I'm a bigot. Because I let you teach things and not him.
You are a bigot, Dave. You know, do I got to whip out my beaver again?
Hey, Wally, let's see the beaver.
Julie says worst job.
Lord Beaver's so sad. Can you go talk to him?
Play with him for a few minutes. It'll cheer him right up.
That show.
Oh dear.
Julie says sewer worker who deals with the huge clogs in the sewers.
Oh, God, that's almost taking my answer.
What's your answer, Jenny?
I now honestly feel so bad for these guys. The ones that have to go around and clean porta potties.
But do they clean them? I thought they just used a truck and
No, there's a guy who actually has to go in and suck out and refill and then spray it with like industrial steam and
Oh dear.
I know this because I used to work at a racetrack and I've seen so many of them done. Oh my God, I could never ever do that. I would just puke just thinking about it. In fact, I think I'm going to now.
That reminds me of National Lampoon's Christmas. The shooter was full, Clark, and his brain shit everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Ox says a judge. Jen says cleaning in general sucks. Nothing like cleaning shit stains of random crap shoveled in urinals day in and day out. See, I think cleaner might be worse than sewer. I mean, sewer worker, at least you know what you'd... Maybe, I don't know. Godless Sewing says, never lower myself to being a preacher or a church worker. Lone Wanderer says Nigerian scammer would be an awful job. What?
That preacher be a good job. That would be a well-paying job, though.
It probably
Really
would be.
good
You're good at it.
The tax breaks are good.
The worst job I ever had, I was 18 years old working at an all-night gas station. And you can probably see where this is going. I got held up twice at gunpoint.
In the same night?
No, a couple of days later by the same gentleman.
By the same gentleman.
And you called him a gentleman. How nice of you.
Well, you know,
He had to cut. You call him whatever you want.
about 10 minutes of stand-up based on my experiences of getting robbed.
Would you please kindly empty the motherfucking tills? Sort of, yeah. See, you be a gentleman about these things.
And so it was only when I was assaulted by a coworker. I didn't even quit after the 2 times I got held up. But it was when I got assaulted by a coworker, that's when I decided to leave.
What'd they do? They punch you?
Well, they kept on trying to shake me down for money for the till. I locked them out of my little veal pen of an area, and then they just broke the glass. I was actually reading Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide, and I'm reading my book, hoping that they go away, and they just smashed.
What?
Was that your coworker?
This is a coworker, yeah.
Smashed the glass and came after you?
Well, you know, the funny thing about it is that she smashed the glass, and she was, and you know, it was all over me basically, and then I had to, and then she calmed down shortly afterwards. But I consider that to be assault. And then she threatened me, of course, afterwards when she was at the police station.
You were clearly asking for it. What were you wearing?
He's dressed in his Republican suit.
I was in my classic wrong place at the wrong time and poor life choices. That's what I was dressed in.
If you didn't want that to happen, why did you go there? Julie said that Godless Engineer's wife is out of hospital, which is fantastic news.
Good. That's good news.
Oh, good.
She's been in with COVID for 3 or 4 days. She was saying this morning if she hadn't gone into A&E when she did, she wouldn't have survived.
Right, okay. Yeah, get well soon, Casey. Anyway, so.
Very much so. Dr. Osiris says worst job, tax collector. Oh no, most hated job. Dawn Uphead says, people who have no humble opinions can't answer this question. Rigged quiz. Would you like a recount? It's not rigged.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Stop the count.
And then Jen says, honestly, to be honest, the number of times people in offices would leave little surprises everywhere. And bodily fluid and dry. Yeah, we don't need to know that.
No.
Oh, but it's true. People are just disgusting. I used to work at this camera store that had a processing lab, and I ran the lab. And so I was used to all the chemicals and all this kind of stuff, and we had the rubber gloves and all the protective garb and things, which meant that when some asshole comes into the publicly accessible bathroom and takes a shit in the
urinal,
in the waste basket instead
in
of
the trash. He pooped in the trash.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with people? It's
I
like
don't know. It was 6 inches away from the toilet. It's bad aim.
I don't know what it is, but it's like I used to work at a formal wear store, and dudes would pee in the frickin' stall, in like the dresser stalls. But that was, even that's weird, but that is a common occurrence working retail. But the bride and groom having sex in the stall while he's trying on his tuxedo is probably, that's actually kind of impressive.
That seems
the
normal.
room stall or the bathroom stall?
No, it was in the changing stall.
That's different.
Sex in changing stalls is relatively normal.
But peeing in the changing stall.
No, that's not
weird.
I'm going to say, a job I wouldn't debase myself doing is be the guy who works in a porn theatre who has to go around mopping up the jizz afterwards.
Oh, that's right up there
Man,
too.
does he wear a biohazard suit, do you think?
Randolph says, in the trash, that's nothing. At one workplace I was at, someone used to defecate on the walls and managed to spray the ceiling once.
When I worked on a psych unit, we had a patient who developed explosive diarrhea and just plastered the wall. And housekeeping wouldn't clean it up. They said, we're not going to touch that.
Oh my god!
Guess who got to do it again?
That's where you just bring like a hose,
But,
you know.
so
Jeff.
that's what you get for getting on the jelly juice. You see.
Enough of the shit.
Oh,
It's
God.
called
What job?
waterfalls, guys.
What job? Jeff.
I just said
What?
one I would not debase myself doing.
What's that?
Being the guy who works in the porn theatre who has to mop up the
Oh,
jizz.
no.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. I missed that. Mike.
But funny enough, though, that is one of my favourite insults to other people. That's their day job if they're a real arsehole. Yeah, just I don't know why.
Ricardo says, worse than doing calls in some of the call centres is having to audit said calls and listen to the shit agents talking about. I ran a call centre. It's just pure shit. At the same workplace, someone wrote death threats on the washroom wall once with blood. That doesn't sound like a healthy workplace.
No.
Mike!
Yes. Well, I had a friend once whose job it was to clean the railway track after someone had committed suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he enjoyed his work, funny enough. But,
Oh, look,
I'm
there's some
assuming he had
brains
a
over
lovely
here.
mental block.
Actual brains, guys.
but there's one job that I could never do. I could never do it myself.
It's the sad thing that the idea that some of these jobs you can end up doing this stuff and get totally desensitized to it.
Oh yeah.
It's
But I think,
just-
yeah. I was gonna say, I'm assuming it's a bit like the Doctor. You've got to have this separation in your head.
I think
Yeah.
what I have to comment about the British folks in the tube when somebody jumps in front of a train. When I'm sitting on a train and they're like, "Oh, we've had an accident," almost everybody in the car goes, "Ah!
Yes.
Why do you have to go and jump in front of this train? It's gonna make me late." So it's just like, I'm sorry, that's not the appropriate thing to say. But it's almost like everybody in the car gets really mad. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I freeze?
No, you're
Nope.
fine.
No? You fine? Did you?
It's her. It's not us.
I froze.
You froze. Oh shit!
I
Right.
think I'm back. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Seemed like
Jenny,
that.
did you answer?
Yeah, I did. The porta potty.
Oh, you did? Right. You haven't lived until you've taken a mop to the wall behind a toilet. Ugh. No, that's okay. I had to clean my friend's husband's brain off the wall once. You people have done some really sick things. That was Harmonica Man. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.